G'day OWFsquad, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. Today is the 20th of July 2020 and today I'm going to fly Qantas from Adelaide to Brisbane. It's my first flight in about 5 months time and I'm really excited to show you what flying like in 2020 during the global pandemic. Let's go check in now. So just like before the lockdown, you don't need to wear a mask inside the terminal. And upon entering the terminal, there's no temperature checking. Due to the global pandemic, many flights have been cancelled. In the next few hours, there's only 2 Qantas flights, one to Brisbane, another one to Port Lincoln. The check-in area for Qantas is incredibly quiet, so I thought the flight's going to be very empty, but I was so wrong. The 737 flight to Brisbane is almost 100% full. So I just passed through security and checked in already, and it's really dead here in the airside of Adelaide Airport. Stores are still closed from the renovation before lockdown, and you've got a lot of police officers there. They're inspecting people arriving into Adelaide Airport to make sure that they've not been to, Victoria, Melbourne and hotspots. If they have, they'll have to go to 14-day quarantine in their own accommodation. The Qantas lounges across Australia are now reopening, but there's a slight change in the rule for who you can bring in. Normally as a gold member, you can bring in anyone you want. She doesn't even need to be flying. But during this time, you're only allowed to bring in one person who's going to be on the same flight as you are. Inside the lounge, social distancing is strictly enforced. So when you enter, you should find a table where you want to sit and dine. So when I sat down at the table, a lounge host approached me and she explained to me the social distancing and how I'm going to get the food. So basically, there's still food at the buffet area, but you're not allowed to pick up the food. You can point at the food you want to the lounge staff and they'll bring it to your table. If any stage you stand too close to the food or the staff will remind you to step back due to social distancing. Overall, I found the new changes to be absolutely fantastic. The service has improved dramatically and the food offering was top notch for a domestic lounge. On the side note, you can't take a shower. This is the Boeing 737, I'm going to fly up to Brisbane today. It just arrived from Brisbane as QF665 and I'm going to fly back as QF664. So I'm now just at the boarding gate. So far there's been no announcement about social distancing and how boarding's going to work, but people here social distance themselves anyway. Later when boarding began, they called out priority boarding and they did remind people to social distance themselves when they board the plane. There's a box right there and you can grab a mask and hand wipes. Thank you. Due to hygiene reasons, you have to scan your own boarding pass. Our 737 today is 9 years old. Victor Hotel, Victor, Zulu, India. Hello. Thank you. Welcome on board Qantas 737. My seat today is 8A. The seat configuration here is 3-3. Now the seat features, so there's a TV on board, you can adjust the position, there's a USB port, and then the tray table, you can pull it down like this, move it back and forth, but you can't fold it in half. The leg room here is 30 inches, it's quite adequate for a short haul flight. There's a seat pocket, underneath your seat you'll find a power socket. Every seat comes with a soft, adjustable headrest. Qantas normally doesn't board through the rear door at Adelaide Airport, but due to social distancing, people sitting at the back of the plane now board through the rear door. So upon boarding, and before scanning the boarding pass, there was this flywheel pack for you to grab. Inside there's 1 face mask, and 2 hand sanitizers. More of those are available throughout the whole flight.
On behalf of Captain Tim Grace and the whole team, we'd like to welcome back our Qantas and also One World frequent flyer on this Qantas flight to Brisbane. It is great to have you back on board again with us today. And as you are settling in, please place any larger bags in the overhead locker, smaller ones underneath the seat in front, and handheld devices can be placed inside the seat pocket. For those of you seated at the emergency exit row, all your bags must be placed in the overhead lockers only. Please remain in your allocated seat for the duration of the flight. All electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Small handheld devices may be used for both takeoff and landing. However, laptop computers and other large devices must be put away until the seatbelt sign is switched off. Radio transmitters and also devices without flight mode cannot be used at any time during the flight. Just a reminder, as always, smoking and the use of e-cigarette is not permitted at any time during the flight. The well-being of our customers and people is always our highest priority. If you are feeling unwell now, or should you become unwell during the flight, please alert a crew member and follow their instructions. For those of you who picked up a Fly Well pack, this pack contains a face mask and sanitizing wipes inside a Ziploc bag. We do recommend that you wear the face mask throughout the flight. The wipes can be used at any time to sanitize your hands or surfaces. Additional masks and wipes are available on request. All used masks and wipes must be placed inside the Ziploc bag and then taken with you as you disembark the aircraft. Masks and wipes, whether used or unused, must not be placed inside the seat pocket or remain on the aircraft. The primary goal is to get you to your destination safely, so some of our normal food, drinks and entertainment are temporarily unavailable. Flight time today will take approximately 1 hour and 55 minutes. Welcome again and enjoy the flight to Brisbane.
So it's been 5 months since I've flown, and it feels incredible when a plane is pushing back and the engine is starting up.
For biplane, made from timber and canvas. You're flying with a Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flashier than this old girl.
This is the new Qantas safety video celebrating the 100-year anniversary. It's truly amazing and it's available on YouTube. At the moment, there's virtually no plane at the airport terminal. That's Adelaide Central Business District with a beautiful rainbow on it. What a beautiful day to fly. On the left you have Adelaide Airport, and on the right you have the Adelaide CBD.
To remain in your seat as much as possible for the duration of the flight, and please do not change seats. For those of you seated in the main economy cabin, you'll find 2 toilets located just behind you. For those seated in business, there is one up the front. No more than 2 passengers should be queuing in the aisles for the toilets, and galley areas are to be avoided. Please also
save money during this global pandemic, Qantas turned off all the in-flight entertainment system, and there's not even magazine available. So on the TV, there's only the flight map to watch. Qantas Wi-Fi is available right there, which got me excited a little bit, but there's no way you can connect to it. They switched off the Wi-Fi. So for today's entertainment on board, it's really just the view outside, which is absolutely gorgeous by the way, or any Netflix or Spotify music on your phone.
Brisbane. Started by apologising for the slightly delayed departure. Some strong headwinds coming down, and cleaning procedures and boarding procedures do take a bit longer than normal currently. So the good news with the headwind on the way down is we get the tailwind on the way home. Short flight took 1 hour and 55 minutes. So we'll get currently showing touchdown time. It's about 35 minutes past 7 to start in terminal, 3 or 4 minutes after that. We're expecting smooth flight conditions. We do remind you it's Qantas policy when you are seated. Do please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we encounter any unexpected turbulence. I'll chat to you before we commence our descent into Brisbane. Get some weather details and I'll update it all the time. Meantime, welcome aboard. Please enjoy the flight with us.
The cabin crew now begin their service for today's flight to Brisbane. So there's no drink selection, everyone just get a bottle of water. For dinner they usually serve a hot box, and it's usually a proper meal, but due to, saving money, you only get a cheese and crackers today. My breath stinks after that cheese. Passengers on today's flight brought in all forms of entertainment, such as magazines, Kindle, laptop, and their phone. The flight is so dead because there's no entertainment. The crew are minimizing their interaction with the passengers. So, but hey, finally we're in the lavatory with mood lighting, and I'm gonna do a lavatory tour. So this is the new 737 lavatory with really ridiculously tiny basin and also space. That's the toilet. And then we have 2 coat hooks, Mr. Coat Hooks and Mrs. Coat Hook. Yay. Today's flight is almost 100% full. It's not because there are actually that many people flying. Qantas and Jetstar cancelled many flights just days before departure, so they're basically squeezing in people on many different flights into this one single flight. There's one very proactive cabin crew on today's flight looking after the frequent flyers sitting at the front of the plane and also serving extra food and drinks.
All passengers are reminded that the bringing in of fruits, vegetables, plant materials are restricted into some port. If you do have any of these items with you, please place them inside the bins located in the terminal. Qantas, thank you for supporting the Fly Well initiatives on your flight. Please remember to take any masks or wipes, whether they've been used or not, off the aircraft and place it in a bin located in the terminal.
We will soon be landing into Brisbane Airport, so let's quickly conclude this flight with Qantas right here, right now. And I'm going to begin with my experience at the Adelaide Airport Qantas Club Lounge. All the lounge attendants are incredibly friendly, welcoming and very polite as well. they take social distancing really seriously. So far, all the restaurants, bars, cinemas and Qantas Club lounges I've been to, the Qantas Club lounge people take social distancing the most serious. Another fantastic thing about the Qantas Club lounge is that they do table service now due to the pandemic. And then when you board the plane, you're reminded to social distance between yourself and other people around you. You can grab a pack of Fly Well pack, which is free, and it consists of a mask and 2 hand sanitizers. Also, you need to scan your own boarding pass. The seat is okay, it's quite comfortable for a short flight. I really appreciate the fact that it's got a headrest. It really makes a nap much more comfortable. And it's cool that it's got TV, but unfortunately there's nothing to watch other than the flight map itself. This 737 is also fitted with Wi-Fi, but unfortunately it's not turned on for today's flight. Qantas initially switched off all those in-flight entertainment system when the pandemic began. It's understandable because they wanted to save money and not many people were flying at all, but for a flight like this one, I believe that they could switch them on. It's a completely full flight. Now for the catering on board, business class received all those fancy drinks and food as if the pandemic never happened. But there's an obvious downgrade in economy class. There's no more hot meal, you only get a cheese and cracker, and for drinks, there's no alcohol, no tea, coffee, or juice. Just a bottle of water. I really hope that Qantas will bring back the standard catering to economy class as soon as possible. Finally, right now, it will cost you about $234 to fly Qantas direct non-stop in economy class from Adelaide to Brisbane. So that's it for the conclusion today. Thanks very much for watching my first trip report after the lockdown. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any question about what flying is like nowadays, feel free to ask me through the comment or through direct messages via Snapchat, Instagram or other social media platforms. I will also post a travel vlog onto my Facebook very soon, so be sure to like my Facebook page and check out the vlog. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate if you could do so now. I upload a new trip report every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time, or 2 PM in Brisbane, or 1:30 in Adelaide. And it's every single Thursday, so you don't want to miss out. Also click that bell button, so every time when I upload on time, you'll get a notification. And when you start travelling again, please use this hashtag on Instagram. I'll be really interested in seeing your post. Thanks again, now enjoy the landing and approach into Brisbane Airport, and remember, Q&A at the very end of the video. Bye bye.
Welcome to Brisbane, local time is 7:40 PM. With your safety in mind, please stay in your seat with your seatbelt fastened until our captain switch off the seatbelt sign. If your mobile phone is within reach, you can now switch it back to the normal mode. Please take care of when opening the overhead lockers, as bags may have moved during the flight. Once the seatbelt sign is off, you'll be leaving through the forward door. Before you leave, please remember to check your seat, also the seat pocket for any personal items. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted while disembarking or throughout the terminal. Your check-in luggage can be collected from the baggage claim area. This is located on the ground floor. The carousel number is number 2. Once the seatbelt sign is off, please remain seated until the passengers in front of you have started to disembark. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I do have 2 passengers that needs to disembark first. They are seated at row 16. So once the seatbelt sign is off, your patience and assistance would be greatly appreciated. It's been a pleasure to have you on board this evening. Welcome to Brisbane and have a good evening.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. See you later. Thank you. Good night.
Hello, welcome back to Q&A and thanks for watching the Qantas trip report. So I have 3 questions today and I'll begin with my patron, Richie Lee. Have you ever felt dangerous on a plane? If so, which flight? I've never felt dangerous on a plane before, but if you change the word from dangerous to nervous, then yeah. It was my first ever flight with Malaysia Airlines in 2017 from Hong Kong to Malaysia. It was also my first trip ever to Malaysia. It was because it was my first flight with MH and it was after the plane got shot down and another plane disappeared out of nowhere, so I was quite nervous, but after the plane took off to Malaysia, I felt really safe. The crew were amazing, the food was good, and it was a comfortable ride down to Malaysia. Second question from Lockie NG Adventures. They're from Sydney. Amazing couple. Worst service ever, route and airline. Singapore Airlines SQ2 from Singapore to Hong Kong. That was last year. I know many of you might not expect this, but that very flight to Hong Kong with SQ was really exceptionally bad. But then on the way back to Singapore and onwards to Adelaide, both flights were amazing. It was just that one single flight. The crew weren't nice at all. Final question from KVNG Kanto from Instagram. What's your number 1 choice when it comes to in-flight entertainment and food? In-flight entertainment, Emirates for sure. Easy question, easy answer. For food, depends what class, I guess. For economy, I quite like Cathay, Etihad sometimes. But with Etihad, the portion, it's really bad, but the taste is good. What's the other one? Thai Airways quite good. Malaysia is quite good as well. Japan sometimes. Business class. Etihad again. Their dessert is amazing. Hainan's quite good. They got their menu is inspired from a chef based in Beijing, and it's like a 5-star restaurant, like really good Chinese food. What's another one I can give you? Cathay, sometimes their new business class service dine on demand is quite good. Apparently it's really exhausting for the crew, but for the passenger it's quite good. So that's it for the Q&A today. I really hope that you enjoyed the trip report and the Q&A, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.